The Trump administration has told hundreds of thousands of migrants from several countries that they are losing their legal status in the U.S. CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez joins us now for more on this. So, Camilo, very good to see you. How did this decision come about, and who are these migrants that are being affected by the move?
Hi, Nancy. Well, this action by the Trump administration stems from a Supreme Court ruling back in May that allowed the Department of Homeland Security to follow through on an action to terminate a Biden-era program that allowed 500,000 migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela to come here legally under the Biden administration. At the time, officials said that this policy was designed to dissuade and deter migrants from crossing the U.S.-Mexico border illegally by offering them a legal mechanism to come here to the U.S. But the Trump administration, Nancy, has argued that this policy was unlawful and that the people who came under this initiative were not properly screened and vetted, and now this program has been officially ended, and the hundreds of thousands of people who came under this initiative are now being told, Nancy, to use a smartphone app to sign up for self-deportation to leave the country voluntarily. Otherwise, officials are warning them that they will be found, identified, arrested, and forcibly deported from the country.
But if they don't self-deport, are there any channels for any of them to stay in the country? We're talking about more than 500,000 people here.
It's a huge population of migrants, Nancy. That is completely right. And yes, some of the migrants who came under this policy may be able to stay here legally under other programs. For example, migrants can request asylum and receive asylum if they fled political persecution or persecution because of their religion, race, nationality, or other certain grounds protected under U.S. asylum law. Additionally, some migrants may be eligible for a green card, for example. Cubans, under a Cold War era law, are generally able to get a green card under that law dating back to the 1960s. So some of these migrants may have other options, but for many, this was the only lifeline to be able to stay in the country legally. So now they face the prospect of becoming undocumented. Now their presence could be illegal in the country. They will not be eligible to work, or they will have to leave and go back to their home countries.
And Camilo, switching topics here, tomorrow there will be a hearing in the case of Camilo Garcia, the man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador, now back in the U.S. facing criminal charges. What will you be watching for?
Well, just to level set, Kilmar Abreu Garcia, Nancy, is back in the U.S. after being mistakenly deported to El Salvador, but he's also back facing serious federal charges related to what the Justice Department has alleged was a sophisticated effort by him and other individuals to smuggle migrants, including children, into the U.S., illegally migrants from countries like Ecuador, Guatemala, and other nations in Latin America. And now we know that a federal court in Nashville will be deciding the question of whether he should be detained by the federal government while this trial continues. And while he faces these charges, the government is arguing, Nancy, that he is a public safety threat who must remain in detention. His lawyers, of course, dispute that.
Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you very much.